and conducting an investigation would be much more difficult.
And Robert Costa, to Mike's point about time, it's your sense that this ends up at the United States Supreme Court, right?
If this ends up at the Supreme Court, it will be perhaps one of the most monumental decisions the court has made. There was an insurrection at the United States Capitol on January 6th of this year. In Watergate, Nixon was forced to release the tapes by Chief Justice Burger because there was a crime that had taken place, and no president can have confidentiality when it comes to documents when a crime has taken place. That was the threshold for Burger. What's the threshold for this Supreme Court? That's the lingering question. Are they going to protect a former president with so-called privilege when it comes to documents, even though he's out of office and an insurrection took place? If they do and protect Trump and enable him to not release these documents, we might never have a clear answer, especially if Republicans take over the House, as Mike said, in 2022. And that's why Bannon and so many others, including Clark, seem to be in this wait-and-see game. Just wait and hope conservative justices on the Supreme Court somehow don't have a Warren Burger moment and prompt Trump and these documents, and especially those phone logs from January 5th and 6th to come forward.
It's almost depressing to hear the echoes of history. I don't think a lot of people have a lot of hope or confidence that the institutions are in the same condition they were in then. Jackie, I want to come back around to something that I think Mike and Robert are getting at, and that is the strategy of stonewalling. Bannon has defied his subpoena. Politico reports that Jeffrey Clark is not cooperating. Talk about where sort of the body language is, if we don't have anything else, between Congress, between this committee, which would like to see congressional subpoenas honored and upheld. They've referred them to DOJ. And so far, I think, crickets, right, from DOJ?
Yeah, we haven't heard from DOJ really in this matter at all, although a Justice Department attorney yesterday who was arguing on behalf of the National Archive actually referred to some of the precedent that Bob Costa just mentioned about prior Supreme Court rulings. And that is that the reason why I think the committee is arguing so much that the former President Trump that his legal argument is so weak here is that because in 1977, in this landmark opinion given, it showed that the incumbent president is in the best position to assess the present and future needs of the executive branch. And I think that that's what you're seeing the committee hang their hopes on here. You played Chairman Thompson at the beginning of your show, Nicole. He is as steady and optimistic as ever, moving forward slowly but surely. They're going to keep going at as many of these people who were involved with the operation as possible, from the planning of the rally, the financial mechanisms that funded everything, to the people who were with Trump on January 6th. There's still a lot of people to be subpoenaed. But at the same time, the committee can't hold everyone in criminal contempt here. So there is, I think, a political limit, a political wall that they're going to hit. And it's something that I know that a lot of the witnesses are already privately talking about. And I think you're going to see sort of a more political apparatus, bolster some of these witnesses and kind of keep them organized and maybe potentially preventing more than just Jeffrey Clark and Steve Bannon from cooperating. But again, there's, Democrats and the Select Committee, Republicans as well. They still have a lot of time here, so they'll keep charging forward.
Robert Costa, let me show you how Chairman Thompson characterized. I mean, I think that's right. And I think what Jackie's saying is important. It's likely that a political campaign of sorts will sort of be built around people defying the committee if the Trump side views this as a good issue. I don't know in a post-Youngkin era if it really is, but we'll see. Chairman Thompson makes clear that nobody is dealing with the committee the way Bannon did. Here's that interview.
Have you heard anything from Scavino yet?
Oh, yeah, we negotiated.
With Meadows, Scavino, and Cash?
Right.
Got it.
Right. Nobody is where
Bannon is.
Bannon was. So he's the only one that stands out.
So, Robert Costa, again, this is my speculation. This is not any of our reporting, but it sounds like this is a committee willing to take something as long as it's not nothing. Do you have any insight into what those negotiations are with the others?
Well, clearly, Chairman Thompson wants to project optimism about the committee. But to Jackie and Mike's point about time, time is of the essence. And at this point, there's going to be a challenge for this committee about what level of engagement actually equals success for this committee. At the end of the day, one thing matters for this committee. One thing matters for every reporter, speaking for myself. The truth. Is the truth going to come out? Engagement about documents may be better than a Bannon refusal to engage in any way and to have some kind of theatrical contempt of the subpoena. But at the same time, if the committee's not making forward progress, and that's why there is going to be some questions raised from Democrats and Republicans alike. Is this committee big enough? Does it have enough investigators, enough money? Because at the end of the day, if stonewalling is effective for those who are involved at any level, even tangentially, then the truth won't come out. And that's, for American democracy, the issue. Everyone deserves to know what happened. We know scatterings of what happened, thanks to the reporting of the Post and Mike and others, but not enough. And Chairman Thompson so far is optimistic, but how long will that hold?
Yeah, I mean,